nice that we found together. As a member of the commemorative event committee of the UC, I welcome the member units of the UC and the guests also to our ceremony in honor of the 160th anniversary of the battle at Antietam. For 5 weeks now, we fought now as small battalions with and against each other in order to catch a tiny bit of the atmosphere from back in those days on the field of battle. I think it is safe to say that the idea, and in any case the real implementation of battalion battles into real events in warfights, is now an original of the United European Community, and for that I'm thankful and proud alike. Let me now very briefly introduce us to the historical background of the battle at Sharpsburg or Antietam respectively. This battle was the culmination of Lee's first invasion of Union territory in the Eastern Theater. It has been a heated battle, and on this 17th of September 1862, and it still enters the history books as the bloodiest day on American soil in the American history. Although it could be labeled a draw, the battle is agreed to be a Union victory, as General Lee was first to withdraw from the field of battle, while in turn McClellan wasted an opportunity to inflict more casualties to the CSA by simply following them. The casualties were devastating, with a total of almost 23,000 dead, wounded, or missing. And with this very briefly introduction, I would like to say to have Captain Hawk tell us a little bit how he approached the development of our campaign that we enjoyed so much. Yeah, Captain Hawk, maybe you can say some words to this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll give a roundup of the different scenarios that we played. So the design that we were going for with the campaign was to break up the battle into 4 separate scenarios, which sort of recreated major engagements as part of the Battle of Antietam. The first scenario, the Prelude in the Eastwoods, aimed to recreate the early skirmishes on the 16th of September and the 17th, as both sides were positioning their forces and testing out the battle lines of their opposition. This scenario started out with a very close match on the Eastwoods skirmish and on the conquest map for the Eastwoods, where the CSA just managed to hold on. The Confederates were then able to conduct an ill-judged counterattack on the Union forces, pushing slowly out of the Eastwoods on Cook's countercharge, which failed and incurred severe casualties to the CSA side. The result of this side was a minor victory for the rebels, as they were able to hold their positions around the Eastwoods. The second scenario, Hooker's Strike, aimed to recreate Joseph Hooker's attacks early on the 17th through the Miller Cornfield and against Jackson's wing of the Confederate Army. The initial assault by Union was held up in front of the Dunker Church along the Hagerstown Turnpike. The Union generals on that occasion elected to send their reinforcements to focus on another attack on the Hagerstown Turnpike, which again was held in a very bloody contest by the CSA. Therefore, the CSA scored a major victory in this scenario. The third scenario focused on the fighting around the Sunken Lane in the centre of the field. Desperate for some victory, the Union forces sent a strong attack directly towards DH's rebels in their defensive position lane. With style and gallantry, the Union was able to rout the rebels facing them. And
guys, I have to go. I'm sorry, okay? See y'all in a little bit.
Richard H. Anderson's
Later, man.
version.
Yeah, you're good.
Unfortunately, the Union could not capitalise on their early peak at the Sunken Lane, and the rebels were able to hold off at the Piper Farm. Despite this, the Union scored a minor victory in this scenario. Finally, we moved on to the Burnside's Bridge scenario, which aimed to recreate the sort of late afternoons fighting. On the Burnside Bridge, the twin 51st Regiments of Pennsylvania and New York attacked Toombs' Understrength Georgia Brigade. Although the Union came on strongly with gallantry, their bravery was no match for the buck and ball used by the Rebs, which did some nasty work, buying enough time for Hill's men to march from Harper's Ferry and counter-attack Burnside at the Hills counterattack, which we just fought. As the rebels won both of those battles, that was counted as a major victory for the rebel side. The casualties in terms of the whole campaign were as follows. For the CSA side, 3,096 wounded, 888 killed, 137 missing and captured. The USA, 3,844 wounded, 1,161 killed, and 249 missing or captured. With that, we have to give the victory to the rebel side. They performed very well, but at the same time, the Union came on with great gallantry in their attacking battles. Definitely more difficult for them. I'd say we've learned a lot from the campaign. You know, obviously this was quite new territory for us, and we hope we can take some of the lessons we've learned and make some more campaigns in the future. And with the announcement of the new map editor from Campfire Games today, I'm sure we can make some amazing campaigns in the future. So I'd like to thank everyone who participated.
Thank you very much, Captain. I'd say this campaign was very successful for the UEC. I hope every unit had fun. At least I can speak for my unit. They all found it extremely interesting, and they loved to play in these mini battalions. What was the outcome of the battle at Antietam? It was the victory for the Union, of course, and it somehow also paved the way for the Union victories in the summer of the following year in '63. So there's also, you can imagine that the Emancipation Proclamation was now, it had a good soil to get to public. General Mr. President Lincoln, he was awaiting such a victory to issue this proclamation, Emancipation Proclamation, this way. And so it was not just a bloody massacre, it gave a little bit of glory to all this fighting stuff. And now, as the UEC chairman, I would like to have Colonel Jumbo say some last words. And before this, UC Battalion, attention!
First company,
attention. First battalion, attention.
Second company, attention.
Attention.
Let's lower arms.
No. And please come to the showdowns.
First battalion.
First company,
shoulder.
Arms.
And now please listen to our chairman, Colonel Jumbo.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Slaughter. I'll keep it short and sweet, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure to have everyone here today to celebrate. Well, not celebrate, but to commemorate and to remember those that fought and died on this anniversary, 160th anniversary of the Battle of Antietam. They fought and died for what they believed for, and I think that's something that we can all respect, regardless of which side you fight for. Thank you very much for those that participated, especially to the non-UEC units. I know this was something very new for you, and it was even for my own boys, for the Georgians. It was very new for us too, and we have loved every single moment of it, and I have too. So you have my absolute respect and joy that you guys came out to celebrate with us of this 160th anniversary. And on that note, I'd like to give the final salute, basically. Is that okay, Slaughter? You get to do it?
Yeah, go on. Thank you.
Yeah, let me just bring it up. Okay. UAC Brigade and Battery at the ready.
Let's get those
Ready, boys.
Ready.
For salute, A.
Right, degrees upwards.
Elevate.
Заряжай.
Shoulder.
Отменить.